If you throw it in the towel, then you're back in sin. We need the Holy Spirit, please let the chaplain in. Here at the front door, chilling with a childish grin. We can now begin. Now the truth be told, we're riding on the light to let the youth get old. And following the one that will soothe your soul and take your bad situation and improve your role to release your flow. It's a long stretch to loosen all the nooses from the baby's necks. And tell the young ladies they should save the sex. And tell the young guys not to break their neck for the place of sex, but get the paycheck. And real women really don't play that. A wise lesson learned really, really way back. I used to okay that. The Lord saved me, Jack, from a life of whack. Come on.
Into the black light, exit the back.
Oh,
you into the black light, exit the back. You
yeah, you might want to start paying attention on this next verse.
You into the black light, exit
Give me your attention for a minute. Damn. Come on. We from the same cut, but playing different positions. A top secret message got the president attention. Do what you do, just make the good folk listen. And trust me, yo, it's not about who you kissing. There is a plan to see you chewed up and shit out. The devil's burning red from the fire that we spit out. We only get up, the hell with that down low. Cherish the gift of the wisdom that we found, yo. Still on the mission with the daily agenda. Your head's been cloudy, so I doubt you to remember that I walk with the king of kings inside me. Just like the root in India, I read. I volunteer, know the Lord didn't hire me. It is the spirit that inspired me. Water of life to show the chief where the fiery. We have no time for those that be acting grimy. You see the light now? Boy, I've been talking to y'all for a while. You see, you thought this was for like some type of game. Man, revolution. Yeah. When you free your mind, your ass will follow. That's for real. And some of y'all locked up so bad, don't nobody have to put chains on you. Hell, you chain yourself down mentally, spiritually. Come on, free your mind, dude. You a king. Free your mind, chick. You a queen. Let me get something with some feel to it, some funk to it. Come on. I think I like that. Can we get some heavy drums in there? More like Caribbean, Caribbean. Yeah. Yes. Bounce to this. I'm just a black man, title, yo, you give me that. I like them imports, never push the Cadillac. And what you figure, Mr. Man, while you're kicking back with sick plans to get you stacked, making chickens fat. You know you're into that, chillin' with your timber cat. Intoxicated to the point, past sinful acts. Be very nimble, Jack, or Jill will get a water back. And have your heart broke just like a heart attack. Look where your power at, no, not the Midal Cats. It's deeper than tats and hurricanes and old maps. The spirit flows, so my folks throw daps. Meant for the wise as well as the spoiled brats. So you can fold up or either you can fold back. I hold no judgment over those that have chose crack. Terror over habit that has been proven to hold back. With God on your side, you can get your soul back. Yeah, we need some 3 parts on this, man. I can't carry my boys at chorus. Come on, line up. Yo, we need y'all 3-part harmony on this. I don't know how you gonna work it out, but work it out. Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud the man to gain the world and lose your soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud the man to gain the world and lose your soul? Into the room, you feel a certain doom. You might lose your hearing from the sonic boom. Out of your mouth is a sword and I'm taking you out. You try to stop me and I'm faking you out. Man, I wish I had an apprentice to build this work. Collaborate on synthesis. And I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near to you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week, intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So do the knowledge, that means hold your head, let the past stay dead, and keep a level head, and don't be misled. Remember most of what I said. I'm hot like times in the rock, but it's
Store with your stuff, man. You just wanted to be upset, nigga. You was talking all excited, like I just watched some crackheads run to the corner, man. Yeah, it's not alright, bro. Oh man, you need a break then. You gotta take them back. The date's like a month off. I don't even know how to. I should have looked at it. I never thought about that. And I always look at stuff. That's a month off. I'm not giving you that. Ain't no way. They don't care. That's why they eat rats and rodents and cats and they eat every damn thing. They don't. That's why they all jacked up. They can't even sweat under their armpit. What the hell? That's why they call them immortal, and then they far from it. Immortal means living. Sentient means beyond. Means it has no soul.
Ancient tiny secret now. Yes. Did you not pay attention in your history class? Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up, son. It is written that there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. And that the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So take your position.
Oh, Mac. Ganja, Benji. Y'all just popped up, man.
Yo, you been getting it away.
What's going on, beloved?
Knock you down. Yes.
All that in the background is because we at war. Man, either you recognize we at war, or you don't know we at war. We at war.
You know what it is.
I'm gonna tell you what they've been doing.
Listen.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you to fight back.
Yeah, I'm not messing with regular tobacco no more, y'all.
Why don't black superstars simply give back?
Unless I grow it,
just to live black.
then I just do the little nicotine. I like the nicotine. It's in a lot of stuff. You just don't know it.
On the CDs I drop, I won't flip flop like a black bass, but I will put a message in the song before I hook your ass. See, we first class living, worse than slaves of the earlier days, and we adapted the ways of the slave master. I stand upon it, the very rock.
I'm not gonna take my time right here. I was gonna wait for 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, check this out. So I sent them a message because every day for the last month and a half, ever since it was actually two and a half months ago, Ganja and a few people said, yo, yeah, they're putting stuff up to support Israel and Palestine fighting. And then somebody said they had something. I know a lot of you don't watch ads, otherwise you'd be saying something to me. Y'all, a lot of y'all, man, y'all just not supportive or anything. Y'all pathetic. Just to look at a minute or two ad. It supports the channel, but see what they were doing, seeing how that wasn't happening. Instead of just putting up Betty Crocker or something, tons of ads. I've seen them all. Not all, but I've seen plenty of them. And you remember I told you my friend Paul showed me 31 individuals. Anyway, regardless of all that, all right. So this is what these monkeys did. Let me put it the proper way. So seeing how like me and certain people talk a certain way, that's the reason why I haven't been really cursing and all that. That doesn't stop an ad or whatever. But these fake chazars, what they did was they implemented this, or we're gonna punish you. You can't punish nothing here. And I hope they watch it. There's nothing you can do here. Now, what I can do to you is phenomenal, but I just want to see balance. This is how stupid these new youth, these youths, these dummies, these converts, these people who don't even, these peoples, they're not even man, or they're not even living. Okay? And you would think that I'm emotional, I feel some kind of way. No, I always said just leave me alone so I don't have to be practical and apply things. Now, me putting a curse on the police departments, and they just keep bringing new ones in as they commit suicide and die, blah, blah, blah. I said, leave me alone. Have a little order to yourselves. But no, they're being outed. More things are being found out. And even though it's part of the agenda, even though a lot of them will succumb, it doesn't matter. The consistency of the inconsistent inaptitude, the inconsistency of the consistent inaptitude of these little beasts, these little monkeys. They decided, well, every live, ones that are ad worthy, they're just going to put a gold ingot. It wasn't because it deserved it. They think they're punishing somebody. It don't mean nothing to me. They can remove the mon. I don't give a damn. Move the monetization and everything. All right. No, this is not emotion. This is the truth. It matters not to me. I have a story to tell, and the story's gonna be told. And if they wasn't as effeminate and they little fake women, because those are the ones that were utterly very emotional. This is why I can say to y'all that you're gonna win, but at a high price. I'm not here to say that. I was dream walking last night, and somebody was attempting to give me a nightmare, and I was laughing at it. You know, my little winky got hard, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And then it wouldn't, and then it went away, and it wouldn't come back. And I was like, "Oh, that's not mine. That's not mine at all." So some little weak thing is attempting to. I was like, and so I shut it down. And that's all I'm gonna say to that. This is just to inform them while they're watching in their delusion. And so I invited them. If you really want to do some your little weak Harry Potter mantra, blah, 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 which means nothing to me, let's get it on. That's an invitation. See, now they like to move in the fake shadows. Oh, there's things out there, y'all. I keep telling y'all you don't want to play with. But you would think that they would be hyped. But see, they have those who they will put forth, because they want to see what happens to them. Well, it's not going to stop at them. It's going to go. It's going to go very to those who are putting them to the task. That I can guarantee. I will raise so those around will think again. I didn't want to have to go here. So what they were doing, putting those little gold ingots at the money sign instead of the green, and they know that if they stay there, saying in review, because you put in, wait, this is ad worthy. So you put it in review, and they were doing it to every one of my videos. And even some shorts to which those were comical and everything else. There was no way. My buddy said, this is what they're doing. Somebody else hit me up. Somebody else left me a kite. And because they come over and watch, they support, you know, you'll never see them comment. They monitoring the idiots, monitoring me. Like it's all right to monitor me while they're being monitored. Anywho, after a certain period of time, there's no revenue created. So you're stuck in between this under the 100 mark or over it at a very low place. So they're keeping it fluctuating. And that's actually, they have an IOU for me, and they just don't know it because I know how it all works. But the problem is I don't care about it. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all think it's always about money. When I'm asking you for Cashapp, well, what y'all gonna do? What, you gonna buy me a car, pay my note, pay my electric bill? This is for books, so I can continue to read. I didn't want to have to say this, and I felt like, well, you know what? Well, something hit me, and so I says, well, always follow your first instinct. So what they're doing is they're attempting to keep it. So, and my views, my subscriptions, it don't matter who somebody's paying. I wouldn't care. Is way up when you look at the view time. So what they did was they wanted to marginalize and cap it, regardless of this, which is by the guidelines, showing that they don't stand by their own guidelines, but they want to subjugate you because the war, and I'm saying that, and my apologies for giving the energy, but I'm not. It's emotionless. So the war is what they want to propel because they want to destroy you. I mean, think about it. 8-point-something billion in trust in me. There's either least or there's much more. And that's all I'm going to say to you than that. I'm going to show you how stupid people are. And I'm saying it stupid. There's many words we can use about how stupid the world is. A handful of monkeys have got 8-point-something billion people ready to die. And this is what Netanyahu and the fake chazars have to say. Well, if they start attacking us, we'll just unleash hell. Why do you think they're in positions of most governments with the finger on the button? See, y'all be fighting and arguing, talking about carrying colors, this, that, and another one. I said, I'm only here for balance and for them to leave me alone. But they're arrogant and they're ignorant, and they're going to be held there. So I don't expect nothing to change. Don't want nothing to change. While they're manipulating and got their little people over here learning how to fly drones. Because let me tell you something, there's buildings that went up and y'all haven't paid attention to. These big warehouses that there are people in there practicing who are foreign, brought here in those little cami pants, and y'all see them now. They are drone manipulators. These are the nerds of the new age. And they're going to be millions of drones flying around, taking and popping cars, people out, bridges, and everything else. You want to talk about apocalyptic? And then you're going to meetings, you're trying to find out why you got these cancers, all the chemicals in your food. That's what's going to be happening. I'm giving you a little tea. Actually had two who broke from the ranks and been talking about this. I don't know if the videos went up on YouTube, but I guarantee they would strike them down, Facebook and all that. So no, there have been people, all I can say is communicating with these people who are in hiding. And y'all think this government, y'all still watching Rachel Maddow and all them idiots on the media and all MNSB, you give energy to these little goofy things. CBS, I go up in my room, well, the room upstairs, where the frequency is supposed to be low. It's something else. I'm not gonna say what the name of it is. It is not the stuff that you think here. There's other frequencies or things out there being utilized that you have no idea about, that you can't really test. You don't have the means to test it. And so when I go up there, the first thing that happens is my internet doesn't work right. And I see that the number is around 58, whatever, compared to 70 or 80 down here. And then what I do is I plug the TV, because I unplug the TVs. It doesn't matter. And then one upstairs when I'm asleep, I leave it plugged in so they can look at me while I sleep. Slumber, whatever the narrative you want to call it. I have this thing that's, you ever see those cars like lowriders that you look at it direct on and it looks purple, then you look at it in the light and it kind of goes yellowish, orange, blue with this sparkly. You ever see that? Well, I have this thing that does that based on, I guess, the ambient temperature of not Fahrenheit or Celsius, but it can read something else. You know what I'm saying? That you put it in front of a laser and it can read it. It can give off the, you know what I mean? And so I look at it and I see that it fluctuates. So they're hitting and bombarding with this other thing as if that's going to change something. And that's all I'm saying to that. Anything else is unnecessary. And this is why I'm saying to y'all don't like to listen, and you think that you think that your decision is natural. You're being manipulated in more ways than you can imagine. There's no great I am. I'm no threat and no danger to nobody. I always say if you're that powerful and everything, you shouldn't have to teeter to low existence. But this is how the individuals have been grafted in. Like they wanted to push a fake demic and they want to push the gay agenda, and your parents sending your kids to school thinking they're doing something, and they're just being lazy, and no matter what's being said. Even I've seen videos and I've heard kids say, I don't like what they're teaching me at school, and then when just pay attention. You all can't even listen to your children. You know what I'm talking about. Just listen and get an A. Just do the best you can, because you didn't do the best, or you did great and you think that the same thing. No, that's the reason why your children are in the state they're in, or some of your parents are that perverse. They think it's okay because it solidifies. You know, it's like a dual relationship. The state they're in, that is all right. The kids don't know no better. So they, even though they have a this or a this, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what they want to be because of your own confusion. It's not the government nor the school's position or place to push that on nobody. No, I don't knock the gay or the lesbian or the homosexual. I don't care about it. I wouldn't let harm come to anyone. But for anyone to believe that means the lack of knowing, that it's all right to push that upon a greater society because certain religions would sit there and harm, and in the past a fake made up narrative and kill those who were doing something that was way out of order around the earth, this part of the earth. No, you will not come and you will not push that crap on nobody because you have this little boy who wants to be a girl running around being the face, made millions of dollars, sitting with the president, this meeting, this, that, Budweiser, that, and everybody getting on board because of the fiat. That shows the lack of responsibility, the inferiority problem with those, and then the people who don't really see what's going on, who can't really communicate it. I told you I was a guardian angel. I believe life is important. But to them, life is not important. It's about control and manipulation and to show you how weak you are and that you will subjugate yourself to stay on a platform, to be this, that, and the other. Are y'all starting to get it now? So I saw that, and I thought it was just the funniest thing. And I was chatting with this young lady named Paula. Whatever, right? And I stated what was happening. It's not like I've researched and find all this out. It's not like I don't know it already. But I decided, enough is enough when I saw that 3 of my videos went green all of a sudden, and it's the 20, what day is this? And it says, oh, right, it kept me for a month and a half or whatever, however long, I don't know. I don't care. Right at a threshold where I could have made a few $100s because you people are actually enjoying, or you're questioning, or you're wondering at all the information I'm sharing, when all I want you to, I came for just balance. And if balance scares them, that shows you that they're not as strong as they say they are. Oh, they have weapons. When I was pointing out the reason why I put the hemp car that Henry Ford didn't build or create, he was not a cultivator of hemp, and they want you to believe that hemp comes from somewhere in Africa when it always grew right here and in the islands. Facts. This is facts. The heroin trip came from so-called the land of She, and packs started being cultivated in Pakistan somewhere around before World War II or after. No, oh yeah, poppy fields. That wasn't always there. And they brought that here, to which we had poppy plants. It's just what we didn't utilize it as such. There were certain drinks they had and stuff when the medicine started going bad for pains and rickets and all this, that, and other, which was creating more problems and addictions. And you got to remember the first cocaine problems were with all the light-skinned people, and the rhythm was now because our people didn't mess with that stuff. We made our own whiskey and our own hooch and our own white lightning and stuff, to which they stole all that and created Jack Daniels and everything else, and they came with the psychedelic synthetic drugs to further be employed to mess people up in the bloodlines and the DNA and to further break you down so you couldn't live long, create more havoc and more chaos. That is what they gave, while you gave the world blimps and flying machines and vehicles. So they created a car out of hemp that the tensile strength of that with certain things bounded with certain natural chemicals was damn near 10 times stronger than steel. Well, they couldn't have that. Just like they couldn't have, who remembers the what you call argon gun that could shoot into the clouds and seed the clouds and make it rain by pulling the argon in, and or those individual, the brother, what's his name, is in 1980 something, whatever, made the car to run off water, right? It was not like it was new. How about the fact of the V car, in 1996, they shut it down, destroyed. They went out going to people and taking the car and crushing and destroying them. Well, they made 800, 900 of them, the electric cars, right? They want the same as this electric car because Elon Musk didn't create it. He is nothing but a front man. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dressed up like Vlad the Impaler or Baphomet, which has nothing to do with balance. This is the perversion of what as above, as below. Now, see, they're going to be bothered. But see, there's a reason why my name is fucking Lucifer. It's not the fake motherfucker that they keep pointing out. And that's some bitch that uses as many names. I just said, leave me alone. They didn't take the imperfectation. We're revealing things, aren't we? Are we or are we not? So if they don't get their little fucktard Harry Potter motherfuckers up out my direction and leave shit the fuck be, then everything will be fine and they can keep on their little fucking path. Energy. We use this term energy and source and light and dark, large and blah, blah, blah. Your focus and direction is more environmental than you can even imagine. You're part of it. How many of y'all looked into the fact that I says you very dark melanated beings create oxygen? No, you was always told you just take in oxygen and you're a bottom dweller, the bottom feeder, and kick out carbon and the trees they chopping down. No, you're the tree they got to chop down. You're one and the same. As long as the world is ignorant and arguing, your culture is the world's culture. Tell me about the people dressing. Y'all go and pull up some pictures from 50 years ago and you show me y'all when they brought y'all to the lowest place you've ever existed and show me how they look. When remember all the brothers and sisters coming back from the Caribs, all maxed up and mixed up with, and yet you were very affluent as far as matching the zoo suits and everything else. 70 years ago. And then you look at music, dance, and everything has been misappropriated and then manipulated from the 1890s to 1934 when they changed the frequency, destroyed the bells, and I think the biggest one that still exists is over in Russia, right? But they hide the history of the one that's here. There's only pictures that they're doing the best to eradicate and get rid of. You want to know the burning of the library of, the great so-called Library of Egypt or whatever you want to call it? It was right here. It ain't been burnt. They put over there in that goddamn store for that fake ass Vatican. Somebody said you were lying. I was lying when I said 50-something miles of information, the scrolls. And yes, they have all the world. That's why you think they're doing, but see, they're doing it like the Sith and the Darth Vaders or whatever you want to call it. This is only for identity purposes. I have no issue with these motherfuckers. They're not going to stop a goddamn thing. And they don't get it. They're really not. They haven't. They haven't slowed shit down. Everything has been laid out as it's supposed to be. And they can't even see that with all their techno-mumble boomble baba and reaching out to the ethers and everything else. Like they would want to change something. There is more to the story of your existence than you can fucking imagine. I'm not here to tell you. I have a story to tell, but I'm not here to talk about all that. I can give a fuck less about it. Everything right now can cease to exist and be taken back to its origin. Everything they've done, everything outside, this, that, and other everything can be set. And you would be right back not knowing about none of it. Everything. Everything. That which is cannot be manipulated emotionally or in feelings or anything. None of that. And lash out and they can destroy the hide and everything, and all that don't mean nothing. Isn't your breath what they say a breath, right? It's a word, right? Is there not a mist? Is that mist not based on a composite of frequencies and moisture? Is there not color in that? Even though it's erratic, there's still beauty in there. See, they're going to keep fucking up. Doesn't matter what happened prior. It doesn't matter at all. Simple ass instructions they can't even abide the fuck by. That shows you. And yet you have brothers in Ukraine and Russia and all these foreigners going to fight on one side or another. How many of y'all know about the Wagner Group having a lot of Africans? Even some so-called Americans that were in the prison system who fought on that side. How many of y'all aware on both sides that if people running from the fighting, they shoot them down? Calling them cowards. Who is the real coward? See, when you stand up Hollywood and everything paint this picture that John Wayne and all these monkeys like, I'll meet you in hell, the last stand of the Alamo, and all this other bullshit. How many of you ever realize that the strong motherfuckers are the one that says, no, not no more. I will not be killing. That's the power. Fear has fled this person. They have not only had enough, they have come to the rationale that what they've done is wrong. But because you have these sociopaths, these sick things, mitigating and running around in this false glory with these so-called egos and everything else, this world is filled with it. I mean, look at little Uzi Vert running around with the red half-ass Super Saiyan shoulder pads with his hair red and grabbing this purse, moving like a little girl, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to look like some thug out of prison. See, this is what I'm talking about. Mass manipulation, the hysteria of it. Just some little tedious things as part of the manipulation. Now, I ain't come to stop nothing, but damn it, most of y'all can't put it together. It's like this. I watched this. Very good. But then most of the other videos, we're not black. You're not black, at least. It's about the other ones. And that's what they want to paint the so-called Ket people and the Arabs as if they're the second of you, when it's not. It's still light-skinned brothers. That's why it was important to have them going against you and you going against the light-skinned people, because you two were always the original ones. It doesn't matter where. But you lack that knowledge because you don't know how to read, interpret, have understanding, deep appreciation. You could take me and somebody from Ireland, and we can have sex and make babies, and then them babies go and mix around with them, and you can have people look Asian, New Age Asian, or Arab, or this, that, or a plethora, light skin or dark. But that's not what it's about. That's a manipulation of things that wasn't supposed to be. Now think about all the ones who have genetically been messed with, who seem normal. Man and woman has always been capable of incredible things. But they mess with things they're not supposed to. When I said I accepted who I was almost 6 years ago, that was meaningful, and it stands. It's not some Twilight Zone shit. The issue at hand is the individuals who've accepted their position and role they play that is far from who they actually are, is the problem. And all they have to do is the simple things. It shows me they're not as smart or as wise. Doesn't matter what they are. Doesn't matter what they plan and what's going to happen. It's just like Rise coffee. I know it's not the best quality, but I enjoy it and I like it. I like what's behind it. And because I have disdain for the way coffee is made today, unless you're growing it, roasting it, hand picking it in a certain climate, at a certain level, height, that there's no really good coffee at all. The fact that they poison certain foods and stuff for a period of time and then clear the shelf and put the regular stuff back up, that's still bad. It should show the consistency of the inconsistency. And most people don't want to hear nothing about it because, you know, it's all right. I'll go see the doc. I'll see the dad. I'll get a pill. Blah, blah, blah. Everything outside of natural to be made normal. Now you have these slack-jawed, monkey-bodied individuals running around doing perverse things you have no idea about because they believe they're in That means they don't know. They think they know. Believe they're in secrecy. That's the dumbest thing I saw. It's like the littlest ass thing. We're just going to disrupt his income, and we're going to do this regardless. That was just freaking stupid to put people to the task of doing something so not even marginally, but just knuckleheadedly dumb. They could have let it just ride and just be like, okay, but no. Hey, yo, Sage and Hood on TikTok. If you got TikTok, go and check this little pale-skinned fake Indian out. See, when you could be really of this land, but when you are racist in your narrative and you just have disdain for that dumb word, but when you're that ignorant and stupid, you're going to say dumb stuff, not really knowing how it is because of your emotions and feelings, especially you women who are broken, but you men who follow suit. Anyway, that's all I got to say for the time being. I got to go and change this cat's stuff out because I got a box. I don't know how they got that old ass box. I don't know. Maybe they had it back in the. They found it after moving pallets or something around and put it out on the shelf, which was pretty stupid. Okay, but yeah, that's what they've been doing. Now this one, I monetized it, but don't mean I give two rats butts. I just wanted to point it out. And it's not like people don't know a lot of stuff, but when I'm listening to people coming forward who are talking, who's not for Palestine, not for Israel, I stand beside Palestine, the children and them old folks. They shouldn't be dying. But see, the enemy, that's the enemy of life. That's how they, and the people who will go out there and exact it, that shows you the lobotomy, the mindless and the brainless. Because they've went around and they've unalived people and killed people and this, that, or silenced people or moved them away or took them in to utilize them. Huh? That's some funny shit. The reality is, so what? I know you always say, well, Ray, why would you? So what? Okay. So when people tell me stuff, I don't know if it's a fact about certain things. I don't care. But I'll share it with you, and then what do you see? Have you saw anything at all? I should have turned that damn notification off. TikTok got some retards on it, man, for real. I mean, TikTok, it seems like the platform for retards. I love watching little Chinese kids cooking and stuff. That's what they're learning in school. Ironing, cleaning. They're learning some stuff that is beneficial. They're learning trades, and I just love it. While the women over here are broken, they're smoking weed. The kids are taking a vape and pulling on it and shaking their booties and all that dumb stuff. And some will sit there going, but that's rhythm. No, it's not. It's not harmonious. It's not nothing. It's brokenness. But because most can't see it or most don't want to say nothing, well, you're in the predicament and the situation that you belong in because you refuse to change. But I'll be damned if somebody's going to sit up here playing with my little lane. It's not a big lane. It's not a great lane. Just little old I. Now I can lift the curses. I can remove the curses. But as long as they stand, oh, they stand. And they're effective. Very effective. Here or not. And they're not the only one. There's millions of us. Millions. And I just know a few. Y'all are capable of so much more. And I ain't talking about this stupid ass war that's on you. It's always been on you. You just haven't taken the time to access and know it and see it. All of you. Even those ones doing it. The war is on them too. But everybody thinks they're in a better position. Because they've been sitting in the chicken floors and they've been watching the women and doing things and other dark, perverted things of certain organizations. Oh, yeah. That's for the so-called ones who are accepted. That shit don't mean a damn thing. Nothing. It only means something to them because they're participating. They have been manipulated to come in this world like a little seed, little breath of light, and to be tampered, and then to be nurtured into a certain direction, and to believe without knowledge or knowing that that's what's meant for them. So they accept it because they get a little better than you and they get to play in a field of life. And shown some disdain and ugly things. Well, if you don't believe in the Jedi and the Vader, well, that means literally you have no knowledge and lack of, as far as a deeper understanding of who you are and as to why. 8 point something billion to 500 million. Overpopulation, greenhouse bullshit. So with all that, we're going to poison your food and your water. We're going to spray over you. We're going to manipulate and use energy, rhythm to fuck you up further. And you think that you aren't important? Or you think your meager little existence is just a little moment in time of your feelings and emotions and what you think you've learned and what you think you know? Well, y'all are pretty comical. And then you're argumentative. You are argumentative. Why do you think I put up the little video about the beloved couple traveling through a certain part and certain individuals that went out to harm? Isn't that the world over? Who remembers Nashville, Tennessee, when the guy supposedly committed suicide, blew his vehicle up? You know, they call it a suicide bombing. That's conditioning. Any of y'all know about that? Oh. Everything they've done to get to a certain point to keep creating laws and rules to regulate, but also to disarm you so they can do things that is very distressful and destructive. What is good about that? For those who believe in the word good. Why do y'all choose to remain so lazy? You see how we got the people that come in and run off? Am I next? What's that movie? What's the name of that movie where the people can't escape death and they're always trying to? Remember they had the race car track and the motor flies out and wallops in the car and wallops all them people, or they're on the ride, or you see what I'm saying? What was the name of that movie? All the movies. There's an order to shit that's outside the parameters of control. And it doesn't matter about when. I mean, it doesn't matter if. Let me correct it. It doesn't matter about an if. It's just a when. It's just like the same thing they're doing. It's not an if they're going to do it. It's a when. When they're going to do it. The problem is they tell you all the time, because you're lacking in self-responsibility, you're going to be cause and effect. You cause it, so the effect you will feel. And them, because they, notwithstanding, have a little longer, they're playing a certain role, there's a win for them as well. Not an if. I've seen it. And every day I see it more and more and more. It's what it is. I mean, hey, if you think I'm making it up, so cool. So be it. If you think I'm guessing, so be it. The only time. That's why they like to be able to read your face, and they want to see your temperature change and And they want to be able to process your thoughts because they mitigated the terms of how you should think and how you move and walk. Like looking around you is something that, oh, paranoia. Nigga, that's what you need to be. Y'all need to be moving, but not with fear, but attentive to everything. There's a young man who lived in a certain state, and one day he went out to his vehicle, and he had his Glock up on the table, and he was in his short and flip-flops. He went out to his vehicle. We had prominent people live around him, football players, all kind of, And when he went out to his vehicle to retrieve whatever was in the vehicle, there was a big old 6 foot something guy standing out in front of his car when he came out. And he's all black, eyes bulging because he had to be a part of what he's going to do. Give me your fucking key in your car. Well, he acted in a way where the guy got scared and ran off. So he made it to his living room, got his firearm. The worst thing he could do, though, was to run back outside. You made it in your house. The vehicle is still there. The threat is gone. But the issue is, it doesn't matter how safe or comfortable you feel. It's the fact of the matter. He started realizing that he should carry all the time when pressed and asked. And he gave the scenarios. Imagine walking down the street and there's a guy sitting in a van and you don't notice that he looks bothered. You don't know what may come. It'll be painless. Be over like that if he Nashville, Tennessee, where he blows up the vehicle on A Street. Right? And all around. Look at the men who they paraded out there to sit on dynacord, or what they call it, the explosive cords, right? They had them people walk out there handcuffed and they set them down, out there in Pakistan or wherever. And they had them, ISIS, sit down on those cords, that depth cord or whatever that blows up. And they sat down and they walked away from them, and they're masked and they handcuffed or hands tied, and they blow them up, right? See, y'all don't get it. The turbulence and the sickness, the anger, the rage, the pain. But everybody's doing something to make a mark, to make a statement. And it's always the wrong mark and the wrong statement. And then they cry, there's but one God and da 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 da. Well, what God requires and needs that? Oh, the manipulation of so-called human or mankind to state otherwise, the perverse minded put in a position because they're called intolerable. They don't tolerate certain things. So that's why they put them there. Don't you want somebody who has so-called love and is tolerable, who can sit there and mitigate, who will be a representative? Oh, because they kill them all. Well, who do you think did that? Who do you think established that? What about police running into a home with a person asleep? They wake up all the range and they're looking, and they flash a light on them and they shoot them right off the back. You think that's law? You think that's righteous? You think that's balance? Or is that indoctrination? Is that a tactic pulled by a certain group of individuals based on 1948? You think that that's livid of a righteous people? No, that's by design. That's not a if, but a when. Regardless of the bad outcome of it. Why is it that most people can't see it? The fact that there have been electric vehicles, they're not new. The fact that there were grand trees that were chopped down, for what reason? What's always the inexplicable excuse that they make? What's the rationale behind it that people conveniently accept without looking at themselves and saying, wait a minute, why is it that there's always a certain group moving amongst the majority that's manipulative to say, blah. And then the argument is supposed to stand because of the few over the many? Why are y'all so weak? I ain't nobody's savior. I ain't here to tell everybody to walk hands and kumbaya the fuck y'all. No. Actually, it will be a time when it's totally opposite. I said balance. And there will be balance. It doesn't matter. There ain't shit they can do about it. It ain't about tomorrow, next week, or whatever. People misinterpret shit. I always say, if you're in a direction and you got it locked down and you're pushing for it, just go on through with it. Just carry it out. Do what you're supposed to be doing. It ain't going to stop a goddamn thing. One way or the other. It's not. You have dreamers. You have believers. You have speakers. You have doers. You have people who sit down. You have people who walk. Then you have people who run. And sometimes the people who run shouldn't be running because they keep running into shit. No focus, no direction. And then you have those who have been cultivated and nurtured to do all those things but for the wrong reason. As if there's no other outcome. Well, they're wrong too. So, as I said, like the serial killers, the hitmen, and everything that's always moving, they believe that it's practical, they're going to make it to the end. Yeah. No. There is no end as perceived by the so-called knowing. Not as if what they think or believe, based upon their small fraction of knowing. I have a story to tell. 3,500, I'm going to tell this story. And let's see what happens. Unless they're scared. They hear the story. And I do things because I know there's certain, they're watching everybody. Meant to be watched. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Ugh. You can see when there's a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah, I don't even want to say shit. When I said I'm like Jonah, stubborn, I meant it. But there's some things that push you. And it ain't me. Not at all. Because I really don't give a fuck. I'm being very honest. I don't. But balance? It makes sense to me. With that being said, I'll see y'all here shortly, and we're going to read on. I got to get his stuff for him. And remember, I'm not saying all the stuff that I said before is factual. I'm asking you, what do you see? What do you see in your dreams? What have you found out? Who is in your circle? Who said what? Who's elaborated on what? Who's pointed out this and that? Who's argumentative? What's the purpose of being argumentative? How many people are still sellouts? They believe that they're grafted in to maneuver and manipulate and to fool the people, when it's always the same outcome. Always the same outcome. As if you don't remember the past, you're doomed to what? Well, it seems like some people know the past and they continue to do the same dumb thing. What do you say? All this is suggestive. Hell, ain't nobody commenting or saying nothing. Well, damn, I'm not no great speaker. I'm just I and I, a reflection of you. Why don't you be a reflection of me? See y'all later.